Okay, as you've seen, we're sitting here with Frank Watts from Region Safaris. Some people don't know that he's famous on the internet. There's a little video on the internet called Battle at Kruger. Some people have seen it, about 60 million on YouTube. It's one of the most popular videos on YouTube of all time. And Frank Watts was the guide on the game viewing vehicle, and managed to see this once in a lifetime happening or event, I suppose, at the Kruger with buffaloes and lions and crocodiles all fighting it out in one place. And Frank's going to tell us a little bit about the history of how Battle at Kruger came about.
Yeah, it was really an amazing experience because when I arrived at the scene where this thing happened, we saw the lions lying on the wall of the dam, and the buffalo were down there having a drink. And even myself, most of us, we said, oh, nothing's going to happen here. The lions were clearly young lions, and we didn't think that they were going to take these buffalo on. And I decided, look, let's just sit and wait and see what happens. You never know. And the buffalo started moving off, and all of a sudden turned and came onto the dam wall. The bull was leading. There was a cow behind the bull and a calf, and then the whole herd of about 100 buffalo behind him. And the lions initially were not sure what to do, because the buffalo were not attacking them. So the lions were not intimidated at that stage, although one of them did get up and run away. But the others crouched down like this, and the buffaloes just came closer and closer, and you could just feel this tension building. And this American guy, he started videoing this thing. He was really so cool. And the next thing, the adult female that was there, she charged. And when she charged, she sparked the whole thing. And the buffalo...
That's the lion.
Yeah, the female lion. And the buffalo ran, and as they ran, the lions ran past the male, ran past the female, and took down the youngster. And as they jumped on the back of this little calf, it collapsed to the weight of the lioness and fell into the dam. And all the other lions jumped onto it, but they were inexperienced. Lions, lots of people think lions tear the animals apart, which they don't do. They try and suffocate it. They close the mouth.
In the nose.
And in the nose, yeah. And they were trying to do this, and with all this action going on in the water, the crocodile pitched up. Obviously the crocodile could hear what was going on in the water, and he arrived there. And in the meantime, the buffalo had gapped it. They were running into the bush, and the crocodile came there and grabbed this little buffalo calf on the hip, tried to pull it into the water, but there were 7 lions, and the lions were pulling.
Tug of war between a crocodile and lions now. Yeah.
Precisely. So ironically, the lions were actually saving that crocodile, the buffalo's life.
From certain death.
Absolutely. So pulled the crocodile right out of the water, and I suppose the crocodile looked around and said, hey, no, this is not for me.
A bit more uncomfortable.
Yeah, and let the buffalo go. It's not like the lions ripped this thing out of the crocodile's jaws. If that crocodile clamps its jaws closed, that's it. But the lion, the crocodile let go. And then in the meantime, the buffaloes heard this little calf, bleating.
Yeah.
And they turned around and they came back.
Terrifying little experience for the poor guy.
Can you imagine? And it was unbelievable. It was like the cavalry. You could just see all the dust and everything, and these buffalo all charging in, and it was really amazing. And they got stuck into these lions. The lions tried to resist. The big female sort of crouched down,
trying to hold their ground.
Exactly. And the buffalo hooked this one lioness and threw her up into the air. I mean, that, can you imagine? I mean, a lioness weighs about anything up to 150 kgs, and this buffalo just tossed her into the air. But they all ran, one at a time, ran away like this, and then the little calf stood up, and they all crowded around.
Her heart must have just gone.
Yeah, and I think that is probably why this thing has become so famous, really, and it gives you hope for mankind, because it had a happy ending. Everybody wants a happy ending, and that was like a Walt Disney ending, this little buffalo. Not for the lions.
Back to his mom.
Yeah, everyone was happily ever after, and hopefully the lions got something to eat a bit later on that day.
Yeah, and hopefully the lion that got chucked up in the air.
She wasn't injured.
She didn't get injured.
No, they didn't.
So everybody came off.
Yeah, everyone was happy.
Yeah,
especially me, because now I'm famous.
Fantastic. And what sort of reactions have you had from when you saw the video online, or how did you hear about it getting so popular on YouTube?
Yeah, it just died there. It was quite funny because the guy who actually took the thing, when he realized that he got some footage of something really amazing, he went to National Geographic's in America, and he said to them, listen, I was with a guide in South Africa, and I've got some really amazing footage. Would you be interested? And they said, no, we don't look at amateur stuff. We've got our own photographers. And it died there. until
they saw how popular it was.
Until one of the guys who received the video put this thing on YouTube. It wasn't the guy who took it himself. It was one of the other guests.
I saw it's some other account on YouTube.
Yeah, it was him who put it on, some other guest, and then of course it just went through the roof. It
viral, yeah, it went viral.
Unbelievable. I didn't know about it until
this was about 3 years ago, I think.
3 or 4 years ago, and I found out about it when a guest from Australia phoned me and said, "Hey Frank, you're on YouTube." I said, "YouTube? Does that mean I'm in trouble? What is YouTube?" And then I went to my office where I was working at the time for one of the safari companies, and I looked at it, and then I saw, wow, this is amazing. And then of course it just went on and on.
Well, thankfully somebody recorded it, otherwise nobody would believe it.
Exactly, no one would believe it, because I stopped telling the story until it was on YouTube.
Yeah, now you've got backup.
Yeah, exactly. Now I've got witness.
And since then, since before or since, you've probably never seen anything that incredible.
No, I've never seen anything like that before. There are things that are incredible. Because of my knowledge of the bush, I can see that this particular thing is amazing. And probably even more amazing for me was seeing a thing called a pangolin, which I've never seen in my life.
Anteater, basically.
Yeah. So I mean, we were like 4 or 5 safari vehicles parked around this thing with about 100 years worth of safari experience.
And
not one had ever seen it before.
I've never seen it either.
Exactly. So
aren't they nocturnal?
They're nocturnal, so you don't see them. But in terms of drama and interaction on that scale, I've never seen anything like that before, and I doubt whether I ever will, to be honest.
I mean, it's 2 of the big 5, buffalo and lions, and then 2 predators, lions and crocodiles.
Exactly.
Reptiles, mammals.
Oh, it's just, I mean, for that little thing to have been mauled by those awesome predators and walk away from it.
He's probably famous now.
He doesn't know how famous he is. Just got on with his life.
Great stuff.
That was really incredible.
Fantastic.
Cool.
Okay, perfect.
Awesome.